Hey, how's it going? My name's Austin. This is my 98 E450 7.3 Power Stroke school bus. My Instagram handle's at Herzicane. Alright, let's go in and check it out. Down here, got my Dometic 75 XC fridge. It's fridge and freezer combo. You can switch it. Right now I have it just on fridge setting.
That's a nice slider. What's up with that?
I just installed this like a week or two ago. I had it on a dolly. That wasn't so good, but I got these heavy-duty sliders off Amazon, and they work perfectly. They're about 200 pounds, so I can put as much food as I want in there, booze, whatever you want, and it won't break on me.
Cool.
We got full running water. Runs off of 12-volt electric pump. We got 42 gallons in the back underneath the bed. I also have a heating pad on top of the water tank, so that in the wintertime, if I'm out snowboarding and I leave my bus, I don't have to worry about my water freezing. Just kick that thing on and it regulates itself.
Show them the water. How does that work?
Oh yeah. So I just have it on a switch here, so I can cut it off no matter what. Flip that on, and you got good running water. And also, it'll go right outside the window, and I can take a shower.
Oh.
Yeah. This is my Furrion stove. It just runs off of propane. Right now I have the propane tank sitting under my bed. Eventually I'm gonna move it outside or strap it underneath the bus somehow.
It's on the to-do list.
Yeah, it's make it a little safer, you know? But
how do you like this thing?
dude, I love this thing, honestly. Super easy, super efficient on propane. Starts right up every single time. I've filled my propane tank probably one time after using this almost every day for about 3 or 4 months.
So it's super efficient.
Super efficient.
How about the oven?
The oven is fantastic. It's got these fancy lights on it too.
Oh.
Yeah. I got all my cooking sheets and all that in here. The oven works perfectly. Bake Christmas cookies in it, you know, whatever you want. Frozen pizzas, it's perfect for an easy meal. The countertop, live edge acacia. I was gonna make my own, but I ended up going to Home Depot one day. We knew a lot of the people. He ended up bringing us to this one, and I was like, that's a pretty nice piece of wood.
Hey, that's a pretty nice piece of wood right there.
But it ended up having a crack in the side of it, which happened to be right where the oven is now. So I ended up just cutting that piece off anyways, but they gave it to us discounted.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And you did all the cabinetry?
Yeah, all the cabinetry. Did myself. I had some friends help me too.
Tell us about these locks.
So when you're driving, you have to make sure that all your drawers are locked and secured, because your things will go flying onto the floor. So what we did, this is just kind of temporary. I'm gonna end up modifying all this stuff and finishing it, but these locks, actually not that one.
Yeah, that one don't work.
That one, it works, but she's tight. But basically all we did was drill a hole, and these things lock right in, just like that. And it's pretty nice because I don't have to worry about anything coming out. And they're pretty smooth for the most part, except for this one. So right now, I'm just using a Home Depot bucket for my gray water, but I use everything biodegradable, so I just empty it when I need to. And it's a good idea to empty it before you drive, so you don't have gray water splashing all over your floors. But learned that the hard way one time. But eventually, I'm gonna have a gray water tank set up on the bottom. That's just another thing on the to-do list.
Yeah.
We're about probably 3/4 of the way done with this one.
Yeah, so moral of the story is just, you know, you can get out on the road with some temporary fixes and just fix it as you go.
Oh yeah, I've been living in this thing full time for I think 4 months now. I've had the bus for a year. I spent all last winter traveling around snowboarding as much as I could. One thing to help with that is I have a Chinese diesel heater that sits in this cabinet right here. This cabinet's not finished, as you can see, but it's all right. But it's just a stand-up Chinese diesel heater. It's 5 kilowatt. It runs off a 12 volt. I installed an extra switch to cut it off because, you know, you never know what it's gonna do. You want to make sure you're safe in your home.
Did you tap your tank, or you have an external tank?
This has its own tank built in, which is right here, which is the fill. It's 2 liters. But after talking to people at Wolfpack Roundup, I got some good info, and I'm gonna end up tapping it into my tank. This bus has a 55-gallon tank, so this thing is super efficient. This 2-liter tank, if I ran it on full blast, I could probably run it for 2 to 3 days. So I built all these cabinets myself. They are pretty much just, I think, 3/4 inch plywood, or maybe a little thinner than that.
And there's locks again.
Yep.
Stuff.
Exactly. I've forgotten to lock these before and had water bottles flying out of my cabinets, but it's a lesson that you learn when you're on the road. It's just one of those things. They have undermount lighting in here. So basically what I did was drill a hole through just a piece of shelving, and then I routed a line through so that the wires would run into the shelf itself. And then I just put a thin piece of plywood on top. Try to see if you can see it in here. But yeah, I put this thin piece of plywood in here so that when you throw stuff in here, you're not gonna knock out your lights while you're storing everything you need to. So the ceiling, it's all framed out underneath with 1x3s, and then we use just regular plywood. And then after that, I wanted to make something just pop on the ceiling, and we went to Home Depot and ended up finding this marine grade plywood. It's like rated in millimeters. It's very thin, and I threw some stain on it and a little bit of polyurethane, and man, it popped so good. It had the nicest grains that I had seen on anything. That's what I ended up using, and then we used just pieces of trim to kind of give it a kind of like a sailboat vibe, you know.
Did you insulate this bus?
Yes. So I have 1.5 inch insulation on the floor, the walls, and the ceiling has 1/2 inch. And then on top of that, I used Reflectix, rolled it all down, and then aluminum taped it together, so it's all sealed essentially.
So a lot of people say, why would you insulate a bus if you don't insulate the windows? Did you do anything with your windows?
So for the windows, they tend to let out a lot of heat, and you can literally feel the cold radiating off the windows when it's really cold outside. So we ended up going to Joann's, and I ended up picking out this orange corduroy, and we sewed in an insulated backing to it. And honestly, these have saved my butt in the winter time. The diesel heater and that, it's hard to beat.
So you stay warm?
Yes.
Cool.
All right, so I have a queen size mattress back here. It's fixed. I threw this down. It's a fixed bed. That might end up changing because I like to have homies over. So I might end up turning it into a table / dining area. But for right now, it's super nice. It's a little bit bigger than what I need, but it's super comfortable. It's a 10-inch memory foam mattress, and I have 8 by 12-inch storage boxes all the way around for all my clothes. This is the couch. This is just a 6-inch memory foam mattress that we also got off Amazon. We just cut it in half and pretty much upholstered it ourselves. This also slides out into a full-size bed. That's what that other cushion is back there. But if you use that other cushion right now, it goes up to about here, and it's a little overkill for a backrest. But I also have my battery bank underneath here. So underneath here I have my battery bank. All I have to do is move this. This is my battery bank setup. All of these slide out, like I was saying, into a full-size bed, but each one individually hinges up so that I don't have to just open the whole thing. It makes it kind of nice when you're trying to work in here. But I have a 3,000 watt inverter / charger. That's how I convert everything from DC to AC. And then I also have an RV plug on the outside that runs through here and does the opposite. So it'll charge my batteries when I hook up. I also have a DC to DC charger from Renogy, 40 amp. That hooks up directly to the starting batteries of the bus. These are the accessories on the inside. That also ties into the ignition relay, so it only turns on when you turn the key and or start the bus. This is my 12-volt fuse panel that goes to my lights, my stove, my heater, and my water pump. I labeled them all with electrical tape essentially, so I know which one is which when I go to work on it or take it out. I have two 200 amp hour AGM batteries in series. They have done pretty well. I have 400 watts of solar also, so I don't usually have too much of an issue keeping them charged, as long as I'm driving or traveling or have a place to hook up like once a week or so. And if there's enough solar, I really don't have to worry about it.
Would you do AGM again?
If I were to get batteries again, I would go lithium all the way, because AGMs, you can only charge down to about 50% before it starts lowering the lifespan of them. Lithium is about 90%, so you have a lot more usable amps or watts within the batteries. But all right, now we're gonna talk about pooping. I don't really use this that often because when you're on the road, it's pretty easy to find places to go poop or whatever you gotta do, you know. But in case of emergencies, I got this Potty. It's from Walmart. It's about, I think, 75 bucks, and you just put a solution in it. It breaks down whatever you got to put in there, you know. The few times that I've used it, it has been phenomenal. It has saved my ass, literally.
Where do you dump it at?
I don't know.
Oh, you haven't dumped it yet?
No, dude.
Oh, snap. Okay, so do your own research on that part.
Still trying to figure out where to dump it. If you guys know, please let me know. This is my storage underneath my bed. Pretty much it just holds all the tools that I need to work on my bus on the road. Anything automotive is over on this side. Propane tanks for my outdoor shower. Soccer ball just for fun. Lights to hang up, make your bus look good at night.
It's packed in there.
Yeah, it is packed. Me and my buddy were just going on a trip to California, so we kind of loaded it up with everything that we thought we would need. I even have 2 bins in there that just has everything else that I need to work on the bus. It has paint supplies, it has electrical supplies, it has literally everything. So pretty self-sustaining. Even when I'm on the road, I can work on this no matter where I'm at, which is pretty nice. Let me show you guys my shower. I might have to dig it out of here a little bit.
So basically, life on the road, you got to work a little bit.
Yeah.
It ain't just flush the toilet.
No. And then when you're also working on your bus, you got to have all the materials. So that's why I was cutting out rugs for the stairs to make them look a little nicer. But it wasn't working out like I wanted to. So it's just storing under my bed now. And every time you take stuff out, you have to reorganize, depending on how much you have. I'm working on getting rid of stuff because it's a lot easier to minimalize things. All right, so for my outdoor shower, I use the Boss Mr. Buddy water heater, and this thing honestly is a lifesaver when you're out on the road. I'm gonna end up setting it up inside, right where the hatch is. I'm gonna put up a curtain so that way I can shower inside the bus during the winter, because I built this thing for snowboarding, so I want to make sure that I'm not out in the snow taking showers. That's not fun.
No, sir.
If you want a 20% discount, use Schooliana 20.
Yep.
What is it? Is
yeah,
that it?
Schooliana 20.
Okay, use Schooliana 20 and it'll get you a 20% discount on anything on Mr. Buddy's website.
That's right.
All right, so this is my 1995 KLX 650. I bought this before I was going on a trip to Colorado. I figured I would need something just in case the bus broke down or if I didn't want to use a bunch of gas money and drive the bus. Bought this thing for like 1,700 bucks, and it ended up saving my ass when I was in the National Monument of Colorado. The bus alternator broke down, or the bus alternator went out on it. All my batteries died. I ended up having to pull over. I looked up the nearest O'Reilly's, hopped on the bike, rode into town, grabbed a new alternator and slapped it on, and that was good. Saved my ass. I have 400 watts of solar on top, Renogy panels. I may end up adding 2 more eventually, just to keep up during the winter time when there's not as much sunlight, especially because we live in the PNW and we all know how cloudy it gets out here. All right, so the 42-gallon water tank I showed you under my bed, this is the outdoor access to it and where I end up filling it. This is the normal access for it, just to fill it up. And then this is city plumbing, so I can just hook up a hose and it'll automatically pressurize my lines, and I can use all the stuff that I need to in there. All right, that's my bus. I'm Austin. I'm on Instagram at Herzicane. If you have any questions on my bus or my build, or you need help on anything, just shoot me a message, comment on this, and give me a like. All right, thanks guys.
Peace.
Wait, I mean follow.